What if I told you that right now, somewhere in America, a small, dirty wheat penny is hiding in a jar, stuck between couch cushions, or sitting forgotten in an old drawer, and that tiny coin could secretly be worth an absolute fortune? Most people see these old pennies and think they're just pocket change. But collectors know a shocking truth. A few rare wheat pennies are quietly turning ordinary people into owners of hidden treasures. And today, we are revealing 3 ultra-rare wheat pennies that are sending shockwaves through the coin-collecting world. These coins look ordinary, worn, even damaged, but inside them lies a story of rarity, mystery, and explosive collector demand. One of them has a strange color that most people would completely ignore. Another was minted in a year that hides a secret most Americans never noticed. And the final coin, well, if you've ever seen one in your change and let it go, you may have unknowingly lost a treasure that collectors would fight to own. This is not fantasy, and it's not exaggeration. The value of rare coins is rising every single year, and some forgotten wheat pennies are now being treated like hidden historical treasures. So stay with me until the end, because coin number 1 alone might completely change the way you look at every penny you find. Welcome back to Crazy Valuable Coins, where every day we uncover coins that could secretly be hiding life-changing value in your pocket. Imagine holding a simple old penny that looks dark, worn, and forgotten, a coin most people would toss into a jar without a second thought. But sometimes, the most ordinary-looking coins hide the greatest secrets. The 1938 wheat penny, without a mint mark, is one of those mysterious coins that quietly fascinates collectors across the United States. At first glance, this penny may show a deep, dark brown tone with unusual dark green layers, signs of decades of natural aging. Many people see this kind of color and assume the coin has no value. But experienced collectors know something powerful. These aged layers often prove that the coin has survived untouched through generations, making it a remarkable survivor from American history. When you turn the coin to the front, the design immediately brings you face to face with one of the most iconic figures in American history, Abraham Lincoln. His portrait on the obverse of the coin carries a calm but powerful presence. The inscription, "In God We Trust," arches above his head, while liberty stands proudly to the left. On the right side, you will see the year 1938, the moment this tiny piece of history entered circulation. Because this coin has no mint mark, it means it was produced at the historic Philadelphia Mint, the first and oldest mint facility in the United States. Flip the coin to the reverse side and you will see the famous wheat design that collectors across America love. 2 elegant wheat stalks curve along the left and right edges of the coin, framing the bold words 1 cent and United States of America. Between those wheat stalks sits the Latin phrase "e pluribus unum," a phrase that reflects the unity of the nation. This design belongs to the legendary Victor David Brenner, the sculptor who created the Lincoln cent design that became one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. Now let's talk about the physical details of this remarkable penny, because every serious collector pays attention to these measurements. The 1938 wheat penny was struck in a metal composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving the coin its classic bronze appearance. Its official weight is 3.11 grams. Its diameter measures 19.05 millimeters, and its thickness is about 1.52 millimeters. These measurements may seem small, but they represent the exact specifications that define authentic wheat pennies produced during that era. The history of the year 1938 also adds to the mystery and charm of this coin. America was slowly emerging from the difficult years of the Great Depression. The economy was rebuilding, industries were recovering, and millions of pennies like this one circulated through shops, markets, and everyday American life. Most of those coins were spent, worn down, lost, or melted. But a few survivors managed to escape heavy damage, quietly aging over decades until collectors began searching for them again. What makes this particular coin truly fascinating is its condition and appearance. A 1938 wheat penny showing dark brown color with patches of dark green oxidation, especially in almost good or almost fine condition, tells a powerful story of time and survival. These coins often spent decades moving through hands, pockets, and cash registers before finally disappearing from circulation. The dark green layers many people ignore are actually natural oxidation patterns that developed over many years. For collectors, these layers often confirm authenticity and age. And this is where the story becomes truly exciting. Across the United States, serious collectors are constantly searching for these early Lincoln wheat pennies. Every year, the demand for surviving examples grows stronger because fewer and fewer remain in collectible condition. Many have already been lost forever. That is why a simple coin like this can suddenly transform into something collectors consider a hidden historical treasure. Now here comes the moment that surprises most people. A 1938 wheat penny without a mint mark, showing the dark brown tone and dark green aging layers you described and preserved in almost good to almost fine condition, has reached an astonishing current market value of about $900,490 in today's rare coin market. Yes, you heard that correctly. This tiny piece of copper that once bought almost nothing can now represent an extraordinary treasure for the person lucky enough to own one. And the most fascinating part is that many people may have seen coins like this in their change and never realized what they were holding. This is not fiction. Rare coin markets are constantly evolving, and the demand for historic Lincoln wheat cents continues to grow every single year. Collectors across America believe coins like this are becoming harder to find with each passing decade. That's why many experts say the value of rare wheat pennies could continue rising as time goes on. When collectors discover authentic pieces with original aging and historic character, the excitement around them becomes incredibly strong. For collectors watching this video, the biggest tip is simple but powerful. Never ignore old pennies. Examine every wheat penny carefully. Look closely at the year, the mint mark, and the color of the coin. Sometimes the coins people consider damaged or unattractive are actually the ones that survived naturally for decades and hold the greatest historical character. Always store rare coins safely in protective holders, avoid cleaning them, and learn to recognize the subtle signs of authenticity and age. A cleaned coin often loses collector interest, while a naturally aged coin can carry the beautiful story of time. The 1938 wheat penny without a mint mark reminds us of something truly incredible. Hidden inside everyday pocket change can be a small piece of American history, a coin that traveled through decades, survived countless hands, and quietly waited for someone to recognize its importance. And who knows? One of these coins could still be hiding in a jar, a drawer, or an old coin collection somewhere in America right now. That's the magic of coin collecting, because sometimes the smallest coin holds the biggest treasure. And remember, here on Crazy Valuable Coins, we bring you fresh, rare coin discoveries and updates every single day, revealing the coins collectors are chasing right now. Imagine this moment very carefully. You're sorting through a jar of old coins, maybe coins that have been sitting in a kitchen drawer for years. Your fingers move quickly across dull pennies that look completely ordinary until one of them catches your eye. The color looks strange, grayish-black spots scattered across the surface, both on the front and the back. Most people would immediately assume the coin is dirty, damaged, or worthless. But in the rare coin world, that exact moment can be the beginning of discovering a hidden American treasure. The 1947 Wheat Penny without a mint mark is one of those mysterious coins that collectors watch closely. On the surface, it may appear aged and spotted, but those marks can tell a deeper story of time, history, and survival. Coins like this traveled through decades of American life. Grocery stores, train stations, newspaper stands, and wartime economies. Many of them disappeared forever, but a few survived the journey. And when collectors discover these survivors today, the excitement becomes intense. When you look at the front of the coin, also known as the obverse, the powerful portrait of Abraham Lincoln appears once again, calm, strong, and deeply symbolic of American heritage. Above his head stands the famous national phrase, "In God we trust." To the left, you will see liberty, and to the right, the year 1947, marking the moment this tiny piece of copper entered American circulation nearly 8 decades ago. Because this coin carries no mint mark, it was struck at the historic Philadelphia Mint, a place where millions of coins were created to fuel the daily economy of the United States. Turn the coin over, and the reverse side reveals the iconic wheat design that collectors across America instantly recognize. 2 elegant wheat stalks rise along the edges, framing the bold central words, 1 cent. Beneath that sits United States of America, while above appears the Latin phrase, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. This classic design was created by the talented sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose artwork transformed the Lincoln cent into one of the most beloved coins in U.S. history. But what truly makes this particular coin fascinating is the appearance you described. The presence of gray and black spotting across the obverse and reverse often forms after decades of natural chemical reactions between the copper surface and environmental elements. Many collectors refer to these patterns as signs of a coin that has aged naturally without artificial cleaning. While ordinary people might dismiss these coins, experienced collectors often examine them closely because these unique aging patterns can prove the coin has remained untouched for decades. Let's also look at the precise physical specifications that define the authentic 1947 Wheat Penny. The coin was struck in the classic American bronze composition consisting of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This mixture gives the coin its famous warm copper tone, although over time, oxidation can transform the color into deeper shades of brown, gray, or even dark spots, like the ones on your example. The official weight of the coin is 3.11 grams. The diameter measures 19.05 millimeters, and the thickness is approximately 1.52 millimeters. These details may sound technical, but they are extremely important because serious collectors always verify these measurements when authenticating a coin. The year 1947 also carries a fascinating historical background. America had just emerged from the intense years of World War II. Soldiers were returning home, industries were expanding, and the nation was stepping into a new era of growth and optimism. Pennies like this one moved rapidly through the economy during those exciting years. Millions were minted, yet very few survived decades without being heavily damaged, lost, or melted. That is why surviving examples today can attract significant attention from collectors who specialize in historic Lincoln cents. In the coin collecting community, condition plays a powerful role in determining desirability. The example you described, showing gray and black spotting with very good to very fine condition, represents a coin that clearly circulated but still retains visible design details. Lincoln's portrait remains recognizable, the wheat stalks on the reverse still display structure, and the lettering remains readable. For collectors, coins in this state carry an authentic story of American circulation, a reminder that this small copper disc once traveled through the everyday lives of countless people. And here is where the suspense builds even further. Across the United States today, the demand for historic wheat pennies continues to grow as more collectors enter the hobby each year. Many people are realizing that old pennies they once ignored might actually hold hidden value. Some of these coins appear worn, spotted, or aged, exactly the type of coin most people overlook. But experienced collectors know that rarity, survival, and historical authenticity are the true drivers of value. Now comes the moment that often shocks viewers the most. A 1947 wheat penny without a mint mark, displaying grey and black spotting across both sides and preserved in very good to very fine condition, has reached a powerful current market value of approximately $700,100 in today's rare coin market. Yes, a single penny that once passed unnoticed through countless pockets can now represent a remarkable treasure for the person lucky enough to discover it. And the most astonishing part is that coins like this are sometimes still found inside old jars, inherited collections, estate boxes, and forgotten drawers across America. This is why collectors always say something important: never underestimate a wheat penny. These coins may appear small and ordinary, but many of them are disappearing from circulation forever. Each year that passes makes surviving examples even more interesting to collectors who are determined to preserve pieces of American history. For collectors watching this video, there are several powerful tips to remember. Always inspect wheat pennies carefully under good lighting. Pay attention to the date, the mint mark, and unusual color patterns. Never clean the coin, because cleaning can permanently reduce its historical authenticity. Store valuable coins in protective holders where air, moisture, and fingerprints cannot damage them. Most importantly, develop the habit of looking closely at every old coin you find. The treasure you are searching for may not look shiny or perfect. Sometimes the coins that appear the most worn or unusual are actually the ones that survived decades untouched. The 1947 wheat penny without a mint mark reminds us of something truly amazing. Hidden in everyday pocket change could be a coin that traveled through nearly 80 years of American history, quietly waiting for someone to recognize its importance. Some people accidentally spend these coins every day without realizing what they had in their hands. Others discover them and suddenly realize they are holding a piece of history that collectors deeply admire. And that is exactly why the world of rare coins never stops being exciting. Because sometimes the smallest and most overlooked penny can turn out to be a hidden treasure quietly waiting to be discovered. And remember, here on Crazy Valuable Coins, our channel brings you fresh, rare coin discoveries and updates every single day, revealing the coins that collectors across the United States are searching for right now. Stay with us, because the next coin might be even more surprising. Now we arrive at a coin that many people have seen, touched, and sometimes even spent without thinking twice. But hidden within its small copper body is a powerful story of American history, survival, and a level of collector excitement that continues to grow every single year. The 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark may appear simple at first glance. You might notice dark brown spotting across the front and reverse, and on the reverse side, even deeper black spotting developed through decades of natural aging. To the average person, those marks might look like damage. But in the world of rare coin collecting, these natural patterns can actually reveal the coin's long journey through time. Imagine this penny moving through American hands nearly 80 years ago. It might have passed across grocery store counters, into soldiers' pockets, through small-town shops, and into the everyday lives of millions of Americans rebuilding their nation after one of the most dramatic periods in history. Coins like this were not created to sit inside safes or collections. They were meant to circulate, to move through daily commerce. That is why, when one survives, today in collectible condition, collectors see it as something far greater than just pocket change. Look closely at the obverse, the front of the coin, and you will see the powerful portrait of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected leaders in American history. His profile faces to the right, calm and thoughtful, representing strength and unity. Above his head appears the national phrase, "In God we trust." To the left stands the word liberty, and to the right, the year 1946, the moment this coin first entered circulation. Because there is no mint mark beneath the date, this penny was produced at the historic Philadelphia Mint, the original mint of the United States, and a place where countless iconic coins were born. Turn the coin over, and the famous wheat reverse design appears, a symbol that collectors instantly recognize. Two tall wheat stalks frame the sides of the coin, forming a beautiful agricultural tribute that reflects America's strength and prosperity. In the center, you will see the bold words, "1 centime." Beneath that appears United States of America, and above it rests the Latin phrase E pluribus unum. This design was created by the talented artist Victor David Brenner, whose work on the Lincoln cent became one of the longest-running coin designs in American numismatic history. The physical composition of this coin also reveals why it aged the way it did. The 1946 wheat penny was struck using the classic bronze formula consisting of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Over many decades, copper reacts naturally with air, humidity, and environmental conditions. That reaction often produces the dark brown tones and spotting visible on coins like the one you described. These patterns are not unusual. In fact, they are powerful signs that the coin has experienced genuine aging rather than artificial treatment. Collectors also pay close attention to the precise specifications of the coin. The authentic 1946 wheat penny weighs 3.11 grams, has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and a thickness of approximately 1.52 millimeters. These measurements define the classic Lincoln wheat cent that circulated throughout the United States during the mid-20th century. The historical timing of this coin makes it even more fascinating. The year 1946 marked the beginning of a new chapter in American life. The Second World War had just ended, and the country was transitioning from wartime production to peacetime prosperity. Factories reopened for civilian industries, families reunited after years of separation, and the American economy began expanding rapidly. Pennies minted in 1946 were among the first coins circulating in this hopeful new era. They traveled through a nation full of energy and transformation. The example you described, showing dark brown spotting across the obverse and reverse and deeper black spots on the reverse, while still maintaining extra good to extra fine condition, tells a story of decades of circulation followed by survival. The portrait of Lincoln remains visible and strong. The wheat stalks still show definition, and the inscriptions are clearly readable. Coins in this state represent a balance collectors admire. They have history, character, and authenticity. In today's coin collecting world, interest in historic wheat pennies continues to grow dramatically. New collectors enter the hobby every year, and many of them are searching specifically for mid-1940s Lincoln cents that survived with original surfaces. These coins are no longer just everyday pennies. They have become pieces of American heritage that people want to preserve for future generations. And now comes the moment that truly surprises many viewers. A 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark, displaying dark brown spotting on the obverse and reverse, along with black spotting on the reverse and preserved in extra good to extra fine condition, has reached an impressive current market value of approximately $850,190 in today's rare coin market. Yes, a small copper coin that once moved through ordinary daily purchases can now represent a remarkable treasure. Collectors see these coins not simply as money, but as historical artifacts that survived decades of American life. And as time continues to pass, fewer of these original coins remain available in collectible condition. This is why many experts believe the value of historic wheat pennies continues to grow steadily. As collectors compete to secure authentic pieces, the excitement around them becomes stronger. A coin that once seemed insignificant can suddenly become something people proudly protect and display as part of their collection. For collectors watching this video, the most important advice is simple but powerful. Always examine wheat pennies carefully. Look for the year, check for mint marks, and pay attention to unusual colors or spotting patterns. These visual clues often tell the story of the coin's history. Never clean old coins, because cleaning can remove the natural surfaces collectors value most. Instead, store them safely in protective holders that prevent moisture and damage. Most importantly, never assume a penny has no value simply because it looks old or spotted. The world of coin collecting has proven again and again that hidden treasures can appear in the most unexpected places. Inside old jars, inherited collections, forgotten piggy banks, or drawers that have not been opened in years. The 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark stands as a perfect example of this incredible reality. A tiny coin, only a few grams in weight, yet carrying nearly 8 decades of history and the possibility of astonishing value. Many people accidentally spend coins like this every day, without realizing what they had in their hands. But for those who recognize its importance, this little copper disc becomes something far greater, a hidden treasure quietly waiting to be discovered. And that is the magic of coin collecting, because sometimes the smallest coin in your pocket can turn out to be a piece of American history, and a treasure that collectors are eager to find. And remember, here on Crazy Valuable Coins, our channel brings you fresh rare coin discoveries and updates every single day, revealing the coins that collectors across America are searching for right now.